Hello, everyone, and welcome into your daily card reading for today, Thursday, September 21st. And we're going to take a look and see what all messages are coming through from God, Spirit, the Divine for you. Before we get into the signs broken up, which you can see in the description box below, there's a link to when each of those segments starts. We're going to take a look at the overall energy of the collective. We'll pull 3 cards, and then we'll dive in on some oracle cards for each of the sign groupings as well. So let's see what messages are coming through. We have our 8 of Swords, the Fool, and the 7 of Swords in reverse. So when we look at the 8 of Swords, this is actually an energy of feeling like you're the victim, like you're kind of trapped in this terrible situation. But the swords, and in this deck, it looks like this as well. Let's see if that. So the swords are actually behind the person. Most of them are anyway. And so it's not that the person can't get out of their current situation. It's that they feel like in this deck, she is kind of actually bound up a little bit more. But usually that's about, you've created this illusion for yourself that you are trapped. But really, it's just a matter of like having faith in the divine and taking those small steps forward. So, like I said, it's kind of like the swords are behind you. So even though you feel like you're in a prison, it's not actually as bad as you think it is. The Fool is about starting on that new journey, taking that leap of faith. And then the 7 of Swords is, this is kind of that energy of like confession or conscious or like remorse. So there's a little bit of that because it's not that lies and deception. It's like the opposite of it. So it's kind of coming clean and having remorse for things that have been done and I guess kind of confessing things and being true. So that is the energy of the overall collective right now. So let's see how this is going to play out specifically for the individual sign groupings. Today we will start with our earth sign. So that is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Sorry, that flipped. I guess the flip card was the Magician. And so that is about transmuting heavy energies and changing gold or lead into gold. And then it's also the Death card. So the ending of something. And so it could be the ending of like if it's about kind of coming clean or being, remorseful or confessing to something. It could be the end of like a cycle of lies. Also, maybe the end of feeling trapped by something. So let's take a look at the Gaia cards and see what comes out. We have 9 of Hearts, fulfillment, harmony, protection. So looking at trying to make a situation better, trying to transform this bad situation into something more positive, to be able to get that harmony, that fulfillment. And let's take a look at our light worker card and see what comes up here. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So sometimes when things get tough, there's that sense of, oh, I'm on my own. Especially with this 8 of Swords, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm trapped, but it's kind of the sense of, call in your tribe, call in your friends to help. So you're getting ready to take a leap of faith and start a new journey. So there's kind of like this death, this ending to whatever this bad cycle was is coming to an end. And you're, making the most of it. You're trying to transform it into something better as you start your way on the Fool's journey. Let's take a look at our Sacred Creator card. The edge of evolution feels messy. So usually, when you start to get to a point where things are changing, situations are changing, it does kind of feel messy. But your soul tribe can help you with this. And I remember there was a quote from that movie, Hope Floats, where at the very end she's saying something about, oh, mama was right. Endings are usually sad, beginnings are scary, but it's the middle part that counts. And so it may feel messy if something's coming to an end, but with the Fool energy, that is that, okay, a new cycle is starting, a new stage in your life is starting. Have faith in the divine that it's it's doing, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're starting on something new. The divine has your back. So that is what was coming in for our earth signs. Let's take a look at our water signs, which is our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's see what we have for you for today. You also have the death card. And so I guess lots of endings going on right now. So again, this is, you know, it could be the end of feeling trapped, the end of that sort of cycle, is what seems to be coming up here for our signs. Let's take a look if we can get any sort of context about what that might be. Okay, we have hidden path. So hidden path is the marriage of spirit and matter. So there's something that you're not seeing that it's gonna become clear to you here soon. But the death or the falling away of whatever's leaving your life is going to help you find this hidden path of how do you put your soul purpose with your everyday life. Let's take a look at what's coming in here. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So as you, and some of this, like this confession type of card, as you confess to yourself and your true, you know, you're really being honest with yourself, there is a sense of having an energetic upgrade, like an epiphany that, okay, I've discovered this, you know, whatever this truth is about me or about my situation. And that does help you ascend. That does help you level up, you know, once you can become more aware, like self-aware of your situation. And then it says, welcome the divine masculine. So it could be that you're sitting in divine, like feminine energy right now, which is the loving, nurturing, and you need to put a little bit more, I'll call it, structure, doing, action, you know, like that sort of energy to it. Or it could be that you're starting down a new path. Maybe you're going to meet your masculine. So that could be the case for some of you as well. And that could be the new journey that you're going on, that with the Fool energy is that you're meeting somebody new, or it's a new way of interacting, like a new way of balancing your energies, your feminine and your masculine energy. So let's take a look now at our air signs and see what comes in for our air signs, which is our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what we have for you. The Lovers. So the Lovers card, expect there to be, I guess, some positive movement from a romantic partnership standpoint, merging of the divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So some of this, you know, and I always say take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. But this energy, if you're not in a relationship, this could be you balancing your own inner masculine and feminine, or, you know, the Lovers card being that kind of happy, peaceful card for those of you who are in a relationship. And let's take a look at our Gaia card and see what comes up there for you. Yin Yang, creating harmony through balance. And so again, this is also about balancing that inner masculine and feminine, but also creating balance with your partner. So some of it on the heels of like the equinox, solstice, where we have equal amounts of daylight and night. It's kind of, you know, finding that balance. So that's kind of been the energy right now, is finding that balance even between your partners. So not having control issues, like not where one person's leading everything and the other one's just kind of okay, but finding that balance and creating harmony, because that's a lot of what the push is right now, is creating that harmony in your life, being true to yourself and creating that balance and that inner peace. Sorry about that blip. I ran out of space on my computer, so I had to delete some things. But this was the card that I had just pulled for our air signs. It says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So this is all about kind of finding, and especially from the Lover's perspective, like look at the pink in her dress and all of that color there. If you knew you would be supported, like and you knew everyone was going to be fine, what would you do? Because some of that comes down to if you're making your decisions out of fear because you're worried, well, what if this hurts somebody's feelings? What if this? What if that? If you knew that everybody would be fine, what actions would you take? And that's really key about how do you overcome some of those fears. All right, now let's take a look at our Sacred Creator card. Your past supports your future. So with this, and this is, you know, kind of all of these colors I feel like are going together, because even, it's funny, even with that yin and that yang, so you've got all the pinks and you've got all the yellows. So you've got all the yellows here, pinks here, in terms of finding that balance between the two. But even as we're sitting here looking at your past supports your future, I'll put that one back in there. So with your past supporting your future, part of that is knowing that, and we'll look at it a little bit different, what you do now will at some point be your past. So if you're trying to go to this point, your actions now need to support you getting to that point, as opposed to, well, I'm trying to get here, but I'm actually, you know, there's 3 roads and I'm taking the one that goes this way. Those actions don't support this. So knowing that this will someday be your past, make sure your actions are supporting it. And with the whole thing of your past supports your actions, having faith in the fact that certain things played out the way they did to get you to this point right now that is supporting you moving forward. So some of the times, even when you think about, like, when people say, oh, something was destined and fated, it's interesting because, I mean, sometimes you can look back and say, oh my gosh, this one seemingly insignificant event that happened 20 years ago, if that wouldn't have happened, I would totally not be where I am today. And so I recently went through one of those exercises, and it's amazing because it's kind of like, if I would have walked just slightly faster and been in this other grouping, you know, going through these houses and things like that, if I would have done that, my life would be absolutely, totally different right now. And so something as insignificant as that can have a huge impact down the road. But with this, in terms of, you know, finding that balance, trusting your path, you know, as we tie it back to these cards, you know, make sure that you realize that you're not in a prison. You can get out. Like, if there's things that are causing you angst or whatnot, like, trust your path. And I do like this card, this 8 of Swords card in the typical Rider-Waite deck, because when you see it, she's standing there and there's water at her feet. She's blindfolded. Her hands are tied behind her back, and there's all these swords behind her. And I think there's one a little bit in front of her. But it's like the divine has poured out this water, these blessings at her feet. She just needs to take these little baby steps and follow it. So trust the path that's in front of her. You know, like, I know you can't see it, but you can feel it. You can feel it under your feet. Even if you can't go running full steam ahead, you can feel it with each of those little baby steps. Follow that path. So trust your path, and you will get this kind of feeling of fresh start. So as it pertains to the lovers, that feeling of fresh start. So if you've had some hiccups, you know, coming clean and just starting on that journey, and really finding that balance with your partner. So that's our message for our air signs. And last but not least, we have our fire signs. So let's see what's coming through for you for today. All right. And this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the sun. So this is the divine is pouring out blessings on you. It's the actual realization of these blessings, this abundance, this sense of fulfillment. So enjoy that. So you have that combined with this energy of newness, you know, with this 8 of Swords coming to the realization that you're not actually imprisoned the way you think you are. It's just a matter of have faith in the divine. Take those small little baby steps forwards. You're getting there. Some of it's about being honest and, you know, being honest with yourself. So since there's some confessions, you know, some of that being honest with another person, being honest with yourself. And sometimes it's actually the hardest to be honest with yourself. You know, we've talked about that before, of what is your internal narrative? What story are you telling yourself? Because it's amazing how if you keep repeating the same message over and over and over to yourself, eventually you start to believe it and you think that it's true, even if it's really not. So some of the, I guess, coming to terms with things or confession or whatever could be about being honest with yourself as well. All right, let's take a look at our Gaia card. Achievement. Keep focused on your dream. So it's easy sometimes to look at, you know, the things that have fallen apart, but you'll be able to bring in those blessings better if you're keeping focused on what is it that you want. So focus your energy on the things you do want, not on the things you don't want. And I read that somewhere. It was about if you're making a big change in your life, stop putting energy into what you're moving away from. Put all of your energy into whatever the new thing is that you're choosing. So stay focused on your dream. And then Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So some of this in terms of your dreams, you know, you probably have your own dreams in mind, but some of it too about uplifting humanity. If you have hard things that you've gone through, sometimes the reason for that is for you to be a guide for other people. You know, the divine realize that you are strong enough to be able to shoulder some of these things, to be able to help inspire other people and give other people the strength they need if they're going through a similarly tough time. All right. And it says, make a mission statement for your soul. I love this. Okay, and this really, really goes here with this achievement card. Look at that. It's the middle of the flower. But make a mission statement for your soul. And actually here, you know, because this is coming out in the outer part here. So the achievement isn't just the middle. If this lotus is sitting on like in a pond or in a lake, there's also the lake around it too. So double mission there. But this whole idea of make a mission statement for your soul, I think is so important, because then as you come up with that mission statement for your soul, there's that sense of when decisions come up, then you can make a decision that's consistent with your mission statement for your soul. So rather than having every little thing that comes up and now you're going, oh, do I have the time to do this? Do I have the energy? Do I want to do this? Rather than making it this big production and this big mental or energetic drain, if you have your mission statement for your soul, that this is what I want for my soul during this lifetime, it's easier to say, you know, that's not consistent. I'm just going to push that one to the side. So that I think that's really important to sit down and think about that, whether you write it down or not. Depends on if you're a writing it down type of person. But I would say that's definitely something to do, especially as you look at, you know, some of these blessings. So this is kind of this like ring here. So you're getting your blessings, but some of it is being able to acknowledge and see the blessings for what they are. And if you can really, really zero in on what is the mission statement for your soul, some of the things that are happening in your life may be blessings that you don't realize, but they're aligned with what your soul's mission statement is. You just may not be actively aware of what it is. But if you think about it and then are able to visualize that, then you may be able to see certain things in your life as being blessings that are tied to where your soul's going. So I hope today's message has been helpful for you. And as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.